It's your boy Drew Buds. You're watching Bud's Eye View. I remember being young and or at least like in high school type shit. And I used to try to tell people, I used to try to tell my peers, yo. I used to try to tell my peers, like, bro, like, nigga, everything's a lie. This, we're living in the system, like the Illuminati, like, you know what I mean? Like, everything's a lie, like, nothing is real, like. I remember I used to tell people this shit. Now, mind you, I would have graduated in 2015. So I'm saying this shit around like 2012, 2013, 2014, you know. I'm just little old Drew, just little old 17-year-old Drew, you know what I'm saying? Drew Buds, the beginning, like. And I'm telling people, yeah, like, nothing's real, like, bro. And nobody was hearing what I was saying. And I grew up in a narcissistic family dynamic. And so I was always made to feel like I was crazy, like my whole entire life, right? But I broke away from them when I was around this age in high school. And it was just me out there by myself, just little old Drew. And I would try to tell my peers, like, everything is fake, basically. Like, I was awakened at the time, you know what I'm saying? So I would try to tell people, like, everything's fake and shit like that. And predominantly, bro, everyone that I would try to tell this shit to, like, it would just go in one ear and out the other. Or, like, while I had their attention, they would take the information in and it would go right over their heads and they would just like kind of side eye me and like look at me like I'm crazy, you know? And so eventually, while I was on my mission of trying to wake people up and trying to, you know, tell them my thoughts and observations, I was starting to feel like I was crazy. And so I quit sharing that kind of stuff. And I quit talking about that kind of stuff. And I quit, like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like I was seeing things. Like, I was seeing things one way, and I would express that. And the reaction I would get was the side eye, like, something wrong with this guy. You know what I'm saying? And coming from that narcissistic family dynamic, I did feel like there was something wrong with me. So I quit talking about this shit. But 2014, 2013, 2020, whatever. Yeah, 10 years later, we got COVID-19. We got Epstein files. We got January 6th insurrection. We got, what else we got? What else we got? We got AI. What else we got? What else we got, guys? What? I mean, shit, throw your input in there in the comments below. But like, there's a lot of things that I was talking about back then that didn't exist yet that exist now. And it's only been 10 years later. And it's like all in our face, too. Like, even little shit you don't notice, like Face ID or sunglasses with cameras in them that are always listening. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm just crazy. I'm just kidding. I'm just a crazy guy. You know what I mean, guys? You know, what happened was is I missed my mental health appointment recently. And so that's why I'm a psycho. Trust. But nah, I was just sitting here watching a YouTube video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And what was the guy talking about? He was talking about basically how meta glasses work. So the meta glasses, you know what I'm saying? They basically have outsourced a company out of this place in Africa to review the data that comes in through the meta glasses. And basically, the people that are at this company that has been hired to review this data were saying, like, yeah, I don't like people don't realize that, our job is kind of hard because sometimes we have to watch people be naked or watch people that are, have the meta glasses on while they're watching porn, or they got the meta glasses on when they go get in the shower, or they have the meta glasses on, you know, you know what I mean, on the side of the bed, and they just woke up to put their clothes on, and they said, we have to look at all that shit, and it's like we're being surveilled digitally. We're already in the digital prison. You know what I'm saying? We're cooked. But when I was saying this shit like 10 years ago, when I was like a little teenager, I was crazy. I was crazy. Like, I definitely need to go to mental health. And I just think it's so funny that, like, not even 10 years later, like, nigga, it hasn't even been a long time since this shit, like, since I was saying these things, like, and here we are in this increasingly surveilled state, you know, like constantly being watched. Everything we do, like, it's being watched. We got the prison in our pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you're watching this video on is a prison cell, a cell phone, a prison cell, a cell phone. You're locked into this shit, whether you like it or not. Because whoever is next to you has a cell phone. A cell, like a battery, like a grid. You're in a cell. You're surveilled. Everything we do is surveilled. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But guess what? Eventually, the horse is going to get thirsty and drink. Whether the water is good water or it's poisonous. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? Jeffrey Epstein? Somebody find my broom so we can sweep this under the rug. What do you guys think about that? Oh, I know. I'm just a conspiracy theorist and I need to get put on some medication and I need to go to mental health, right? Isn't that right, guys? That's what happened. That's why the iPhone is always listening to everything we say. That's why there's cameras literally everywhere, watching everything we do. That's why the CIA has satellite imagery so they can track every single move we make. You guys ever heard of Palantir? If not, all you got to do is get on Google and look up mental health services near me. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do, guys. You want to buy a home? You're a millennial, you're a Gen Z, you want to buy a home? Get real. and get a job. You want to buy a car? Get real and get a job. You're lazy. You're a millennial or a Gen Z person struggling to get by. Get a job. Oh, you have a job. Oh, well, get another job. Oh, and don't forget to go to college.